And then they also benefited from the sale of the GPUs to them, and then their ability to on-sell it to Swissport. Is that correct?
Sorry, what's your question?
That JM Aviation also benefited from the fact that SART sold its GPUs, which it was then able to sell on to Swissport, correct?
I can't confirm this one.
Do you not have knowledge of that?
I don't know if they unsold and benefited.
Oh, okay. Let me help you again. The evidence is that SART sold it to JM Aviation at about 3 million, it was 3.3 or something, and the next day Swissport paid for those same 12 GPUs at about 9.8. So I've always worked with the difference being about 6 million rand. Do you accept that if JM Aviation bought them for about 3 million and the next day they could sell them for 9 million, they benefited by the difference, which I'm going to say is about 6 million. Do you accept that?
There was also a board submission in respect of this.
Yes, my question is, do you accept that if they bought them for 3 million and sold them for 9 million the next day, they made 6 million out of that transaction?
There was a board resolution in respect of this, Chair. And in this board resolution, there were some also questions that were raised.
Yes, but hang on, Ms. Kwinana. She's just asking you whether you accept that reasoning. She's saying, if you buy something for 3 million today and you sell it for 9 million rand tomorrow, do you accept that it means you have made a 6 million rand profit?
Not necessarily, Chair.
Okay, all right. Ms. Hofmeyer?
Why not?
It's because if I make an example of a car, you sell a car, you buy a car today, Chair, for 200,000. It gets registered today and you sell it tomorrow. You sell it tomorrow, you can sell it tomorrow at 150 because of the depreciation.
Indeed, indeed. But the facts are, they bought it on day one for 3 million and they didn't sell it at a depreciated value, they sold it the next day at 9 million. How could they possibly not have benefited in the order of 6 million? There's no depreciation issue. Buy on day one at 3 million, sell on day two at 9 million.
Still, Chair, it also depends on the whole lot of things. I'm talking about the depreciation. We all know that the car depreciates it the moment it gets out of the showroom. It has already depreciated.
Yes, but you see, you are responding to a general principle. You are saying, in effect, that's not always the case. There are circumstances where you might have to sell something for lower than the amount you bought it the previous day.
Yes,
you make the example of a car. But what she's talking about is where it is a fact that they sold it for more than the price they paid for it. So your example doesn't apply. They bought this for 3 million. Today, tomorrow, they were able to, the following day, they were able to sell it for 9 million. How can it not be that they made a profit of 6 million rand? How can you not agree with that?
Again, Chair, in the example of the car.
Yes, but leave out the example of a car. Talk about what she's talking about.
Talk about the GPUs.
Talk about any purchase.
Then
Day one, 3 million. Tomorrow, sell for 9 million.
Then let me talk about the purchase of a car, Chair. Let me make an example of the purchase of a car.
But,
No, but the
your
fa-
own evidence says, in the case of a car, you won't sell the car for a higher price than the one you bought it for. That's your own evidence.
Yes, Chair.
But she's saying to you, if you buy anything today and you are able to, for 3 million rand, and you are able to sell it for 9 million rand tomorrow, obviously you have made 6 million rand profit.
If you haven't made any improvements, Chair.
Yes, if you have not
haven't-
incurred any expenses,
If
or-
you haven't incurred any other expenses,
then you agree.
the answer is yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. 1 second, Ms. Mbanjwa.